Welcome back to another video, guys. It is a RateRumble today. Because yesterday I was at home and my dad asked me if I wanted to watch a movie with him and my mom. So I watched a movie with my little family, and we watched a Danish movie called Bastarden. I think it's called in Danish. I am a Danish man. I'm a Danish guy. I'm from Denmark, and I don't really know how to say it, but I think Bastarden is how you say it. But it's also in English called The Promised Land. The Promised Land is with Mads Mikkelsen, which is of course a very, very famous Danish actor who's been in a lot of English movies and Danish movies, and is very widely known around the world. He's been in like Doctor Strange. He was the bad guy in Doctor Strange. He's been in Casino Royale. He's been in so many great movies. He's probably one of Denmark's most famous actors out there. But I watched this movie. I wanted to talk about it because this movie was so good, and I think you can only watch it in Danish, at least where we watched it on something called Viaplay, which I think is only in Denmark or Scandinavia or something. You can only have it in Danish, but maybe if you want to watch it on YouTube and stuff, you can maybe put it on to English. But I think it's fine if you watch it in Danish and then just have subtitles on, because then you get like the whole full picture. But what is it about? Spoiler alert, go watch the video if you haven't. But basically, Mads Mikkelsen is playing a character, a soldier, who wants to grow on a specific part of land in South Denmark, you could say. And that land is widely regarded. It's a movie, it's set in 1750s, like a long time ago. And usually movies from that so long ago, in the 1750s, you know, where people are like having all, you know, when you see how they look in the movie, like that time, from that time span, I don't really connect that well with those movies. I don't really like movies from that time that much, or set in that time. What the fuck, like? But I really like this. Basically, Mads Mikkelsen is a former soldier who says to he wants to grow something in a part of land in Denmark that back then was widely known for being a very dangerous part of land, and land where you just couldn't grow anything because the ground was, I can't remember how to say it in English, but the ground is just bad. You cannot grow any seeds there or anything. But he goes up to the king's helper. So the king in Denmark is very, very drunk. You never really see him in the movie, but he has some helpers, and he says to them, "Bro, I wanna grow something here." And they are like, "We cannot fund that. You need men. We cannot fund you some men to do that. It's really stupid. You're never gonna be able to grow anything there." But he really cracks down. He wanna do it, and he's like, "I will do it with my own funding." And they are like, "Bro, you don't have money." And he's like, "I have enough," or something. Like he has something, but it's not a lot at all. He doesn't have a lot of money in the movie at all. So he goes out to this land. He builds a little house for himself. He gets some helpers, but basically the whole movie is just him trying to grow something on this land, and everything just goes bad for him. He gets some helpers, they don't want to help him and stuff, and basically throughout the movie he gains a little bit of an enemy, because back then, if you had money, you had a lot of power. You also have that today, but we have a little bit more right today than back then, because in this movie, basically the land he's trying to build something on, that is like the king's land, the one he is working for, the one we never see. But Mads Mikkelsen's character in the movie is working for the king, but you never really see the king. He doesn't care at all. But it is the king's land, but he doesn't care. But then out on that land, someone has, what is a gods called in English? Like a big house, what is it called? You know. Oh, what the fuck? I need to see what it's called. This is very unprofessional, but it's. Then we're back. It's a estate. I don't think it's called estate, but it just, you know, back then a lot of rich guys. They had like big houses, big estates. That could actually be right. But you know, big estates, big houses, big stuff. And he gets one of those who has that. is a fucking dickhead to our main character. Our main character is called Ludwig Karlen. We're just gonna call him Mads Mikkelsen because then you know what character I'm talking about. Our main character gets in a little bit of a dispute with this guy because this guy he's up against has a big estate, and he claims that ground where Mads Mikkelsen is trying to grow something, that ground is his ground. But by law, it just isn't. But back then, when you had a lot of money, you had a lot of power. So he can just say that. Mads Mikkelsen in the movie does not have any money, just wants to grow something there. And we actually, it's a big thing in the movie that he just doesn't tell us what he's growing. So we are like, how can he even, us as a viewer, is like, but you can't grow anything there because they keep on saying that in the movie, and he doesn't want us to tell the viewer what he's growing. We then learn later that what he's growing is potatoes. And back then, it was the first time anyone grew potatoes in Denmark. So they were very like, but a big thing for potatoes is they can grow in almost any weather, just not frost. So it was a big breakthrough. But the guy he's up against, what is he called in the movie? I can't remember. Frederik de Schinkel, but just Schinkel, Frederik de Schinkel. And it's based on true story. I don't know how much of it is made up for the movie, but it's kind of based on something that actually happened. But Frederik de Schinkel in the movie is the bad guy. He is the rich guy trying to take our Mads Mikkelsen down, but Mads Mikkelsen is doing everything he can to just not like, because Frederik de Schinkel tries to bribe him and stuff to just go away and not do it because it's his ground. And you may be asking, why does Frederik de Schinkel not want Mads Mikkelsen to grow anything there? And to be honest with you, it's there. He just doesn't want to do it because he claims it as his ground, but it's more just the pride side of it. He just does not want anyone to get like something over him, so he kills someone Mads Mikkelsen's cares of in the movie, and he's just basically a bitch. I think it's so hard to talk about the movie, but it's such a good movie. This happens a lot. Mads Mikkelsen is a very cold character in the movie. He just wants to grow potatoes, get a nice title like status, because that was one thing he would get if he did it from the kings. Like the one under the king says to him, if you do it, you'll get this, like, what is it called, a title. You get this prestigious title in Denmark and stuff. So he really wants that because he worked for 25 years to become like a general. And now he wants to have a prestigious title in that like little kingdom. So that's why he wants to do it. So he's very cold. He does it. If he had to do it by himself, he would. He's very cold, but he gets kind of in love with two women in the movie, but one a little more than the other. And he also gets a little child that is a dark-skinned child, and that is not something I'm just saying. That's a big thing in the movie. He starts taking care of her as well, and he actually learns by the end of the movie that the whole the bad guy in the movie is playing his role so good, and he ends up dying because the love interest of our main protagonist here, Mads Mikkelsen, is killing him. So she goes to prison for life with no visitors, which is a big thing in the movie. And basically, in the end, he just learns that he doesn't want to colonize on that ground. He doesn't want to grow anything on the ground because he learned way too late almost that what he really cared about was the woman and the little child he has now taken care of. I know with these movies it's so hard to, on English, on another language, to explain what's going on, but I really do think if you should take anything from this movie, is try and watch it. It's so good. It has a crazy good IMDb rating. I try as hard as I can to not look at IMDb ratings, but before I watch a movie, but literally Viaplay, the thing we're watching movies on, shows it right next to the name. So no, it has a 7.7 rating on IMDb, which is so much granted. We absolutely love the movie, and I'm gonna give it higher. I'm gonna take that up to an 80. So on here we of course from 0 to 100. I'm gonna give it an 80. I think it's just a really, really good movie. The acting is crazy good. For being in a time that I really do not like watching movies in, it really captured me. It captured both me, my mom, and my dad, and we all have actually, of course, some similarities in taste, but we all also has like different in other things, but we all really like this movie, every one of us. So I think that says something, that says how good this movie was. And I've ranted on for a little bit too long about this movie. I have to go to the gym now, so if you watch this, remember to drink your water. And I didn't even say welcome my slimes, so I'm gonna say bye slimes. yeah, bye my slimes. Remember to go to the gym today. Remember to do something active. Go out, get some air, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.